Hey guys, so it's been about a year since I made my most popular video about Evertune guitars, and surprisingly, not much has changed for me in that past year regarding my thoughts on Evertunes, but I wanted to do an update seeing as I have a new one, and reasons why I actually sold my other one. Now, I'm just going to make it clear beforehand, this is not going to be an official playthrough demo of the Evertune guitar. I will play it, but I want to make a separate video that's lighter on the talking, more to the point of how this guitar sounds, because when purchasing this guitar or deciding to purchase it, there's actually no videos online that I could find really demoing this guitar, hearing how it sounds with the Evertune, of course. So I'm gonna do that separately. I'll try and link it in the video when appropriate, and but I'll still play this guitar throughout the video. So yeah, let's get started. So let me just start by listing some reasons why I sold my other one. As I addressed in the video prior, there was nothing wrong with the sound of the LTD EC1000 Evertune that I had. For me, it was strictly based on the looks and the neck. So looks, it was a metal guitar, right? And I don't play metal. Not for me. That's all I can say. And then furthermore, the neck profile was also very metal. It was very wide and very thin. Now this guitar is in a similar range to that. It is slightly wider and not as thick as I'm used to, but it wasn't anything like the LTD where it's basically like completely flat at the back and you have like an even wider neck profile, so you feel like you're playing on a piece of like plywood or something. Or that's just my opinion. I like more baseball bats. So that's just kind of like the two main reasons why I sold the last one. But a few months went by. I was recording bands still, and even more so, recording my own stuff as well. And I kind of desired to have an Evertune again because it would just save me so much time, so much effort recording, and just like time in my life that I'm never going to get back. So, I just decided to pull the trigger because this was a relatively affordable one on the Evertune site, and I knew it would get its good use as always. And plus I'm getting ready to record some more music with my group, so I needed something appropriate for that. So let me just play a little bit of this guitar, and then I'll tell you guys the reasons why I purchased it. So as you can hear, this guitar actually has split coils. So I can do humbucker mode. So, or I can split it and go single coil. Now, this is extremely useful for recording, specifically for the type of music that I do. If you're recording heavier music, humbuckers are pretty much all you need. But for what I do, and also for the versatility, if I'm working on another artist's project, being able to switch between humbuckers and single coils is just huge. Like that was one of my biggest quirks as well with the other guitars. Like, yeah, it was great. The humbuckers sounded perfect in that one, the LTD. But in my head, it's like, oh, if it only had like a coil split, then this guitar could do like everything. And so that's the main selling factor that got me on this one, is like it literally can do everything that I need it to do in a studio setting if I wanted to live, whenever that happens again, whenever live shows are a thing. But yeah, it just fit all of my criteria and more, and even having it in my hands and playing it now, it's even better than I expected. So it's definitely going to get its good use, like I said. I find I'm veering towards a lot more split coil sounds these days, like single coils. But I still like to have the humbuckers for layering underneath, like rhythm doubles. And then I find for these like super kind of almost poppy clean sounds, if I do like a middle position with like a split coil, or even on the neck pickup, you know. You know, little reverb and a Vox AC15 go a long way, you know, like, so that was something I definitely couldn't get out of the other guitar. And so then having to switch between an Evertune, which is like so nice when you just play, everything's perfectly in tune, then having to switch to like say a single coil guitar for those parts was just like, ugh, like have to deal with this again, like come on. So yeah, that's, you know, the main thing. Being able to just switch back and forth is incredible. Now, I'll touch on some of the topics that I did in the earlier video regarding if you're, say, like, if you're contemplating buying it, what kind of criteria I would suggest for to go through yourself. Mainly in regards to the system, because, you know, a guitar can be, you know, way different. You could be looking at like an 8-string, whatever, like a 7-string Evertune. You could be looking at like a classical, like, you know, sorry, not classical, but like old school Strat style with a Evertune. So that is more up to you. You probably know better of what works for you in that regard. But for the Evertune system, what I want to emphasize once again is that you should probably know how to set up your own guitars quite well. Because this came to me set up in standard tuning, and obviously it's perfect, it's great, like the Evertune factory did it for me. I don't really play in standard tuning actually, I play in half step down, or I'm working on like a new tuning that's kind of alternate for the next thing I'm recording, but let's just say for half step down, I'm gonna have to actually redo this whole system just to put it in half step down tuning. You can't just, you know, twist the pegs and all of a sudden everything works and you're in half step down instead of standard. You have to actually adjust like everything that's going on here. So first thing, you adjust the pitch. So then when you get the pitch right, so when you tune up, great. But then now you have to actually adjust like the intonation and possibly the string height, because I'm going to be putting some heavier strings on there. So it does become, you know, you start to create a list of stuff you need to do to keep that system functioning flawlessly. And if you don't know how to do that stuff yourself, it's going to be, you know, quite stressful. You're probably not going to get it perfectly in tune and perfectly intonated, therefore killing the purpose of an Evertune. So and if you're willing to take it to, you know, like a shop where somebody you know, does know how to actually do Evertunes, that's great. And you'll definitely get the use out of it. Also, if you know what tuning you use, if you use standard, so standard tuning, standard gauge strings 10 to 46, you'll get it from the factory and you'll be good for forever if that's, you know, theoretically. But yeah, like once again, I just want to emphasize that you should probably know some setup, and it'll make your life a lot easier. Surely I'm grateful that I do, because I'm very particular with what I need in my guitar in terms of setup, like string height, intonation, etc. So yeah, I'm just going to play this a little bit more, and yeah, thanks you guys for watching. You can probably check out my more official playing demo in the near future. So yeah. Would help if I turn my volume on.